thousands of records I could break for demonstration. Possibly, my mind is startled at its thought, I could fly non-stop between New York and Paris. Hello, I'm Bob Trout, here with another story in stamps. Those were the thoughts, the dreams, recorded here, of a young airmail pilot named Charles Lindbergh as he flew his flimsy de Havilland biplane from St. Louis to Chicago one September night in 1926. His vision of the future of aviation was shared by very few others. In the public mind, the airplane was an invention fit only for carrying freight and fools. No sane businessman would give a second thought to risking capital in such a venture as a commercial airline. What changed their minds? Let's begin at the beginning. This 1949 airmail stamp commemorated the 46th anniversary of the Wright brothers' first flight, December 17, 1903. A year after Lindbergh was born. This 1934 French issue marks a monument in aviation history. On July 25, 1908, Blériot crossed the English Channel from Calais to Dover, ending forever England's isolation from the continent of Europe. All thinking about national boundaries had to be revised. As usual, war compressed within a few years technical advances that might otherwise have taken decades. Overnight, the airplane became the eyes of the Army, scouting, observing, directing artillery fire, photographing, bombing enemy installations. Speed and range increased phenomenally, and the war trained hundreds of pilots who, when they returned home, became devoted missionaries in the cause of aviation. On the night of May 16, 1919, 3 United States Navy seaplanes took off from Newfoundland. "15 hours and 18 minutes later, one of them, the NC-4, put down in the harbor of Horta in the Azores. The others, lost, forced down at sea, badly damaged, unable to continue. Lieutenant Commander Albert C. Reed and his crew were received enthusiastically by the people of England, France, and Portugal. But coming home to the United States was a depressing experience. As Commander Reed remarked bitterly, although considerable interest was manifested in the U.S., that interest did not extend to the point of furnishing financial backing for the needs of aviation. Airplanes to carry passengers, no one could see it. When it came to carrying mail, the government had to put up the money. In 1918, the first air mail service was inaugurated between Washington, Philadelphia, and New York. And this was the first air mail stamp. 24 cents. It showed a Curtiss Jenny in flight. The first few sheets of these stamps, as a matter of fact, showed Jenny flying upside down. Those stamps with the inverted centers are worth something like $4,000 each today. After the war, a lot of Jennies were sold as government surplus. The pilots who bought them came to be known as barnstormers, gypsy flyers, flying fools. All over the country, they put on shows, walking the wings of a plane hundreds of feet up, jumping off with parachutes that sometimes failed to open, throwing their frail craft into loops, spins, dives, risking their necks for the benefit of the farmers, shopkeepers, housewives, and children who watched in awe on the ground below. Why did they do it? One of them tried to explain it many years later. He wrote, "There was a desire I could not explain. It was the quality that led me into aviation in the first place, when safer and more profitable occupations were at hand. It lay beyond the descriptive words of men, where immortality is touched through danger, where man is more than man, and existence both supreme and valueless at the same instant.